empowerment.
He's walking around and just walking in the Snacks Wonderland. He gets it done.
These amount of kills are scaring me because Virtus.pro's get easy economy build,
And you'll see now.
and they might like to just keep these SMGs. Virtus.pro has been known to just like use throwaway rounds like this, almost to just kill 3 guys with something kind of crazy, and then try to just win the next round to reset the other team's money and just take over from there with a crazy economy build. The other team's in shambles. So I think they're probably going to be like hyper aggressive around town. They're going to play in the hut with that P90. We'll see though.
Pushing out to find the AWPer is Taz, and it's CQK, it goes down. Neo has Steel on the other side as well, and everything is going Virtus.pro's way at the moment. That CT aggression that they love to show. They showed it against you yesterday on Inferno, they did it on Mirage as well, and it's really paying off. Actually, very surprising to have not seen any of it on Overpass on their CT side.
Yeah, and that's how I knew they were going to fall back on it right now, is just they know when they don't play the game they want. And I just know, after talking with them, after so many events, whenever they play passive like that and they lose, they're just so mad at themselves. Like, they almost get stuck in some kind of weird mindset that they can't break, but if they play another map, they're out of that zone immediately. They know what they did wrong and they fix it.
Perhaps easier said than done, but they seem to be doing it. Berg gets himself a frag onto Bialy. He and Bolts have 4 more men to find, though.
Roger that.
It's Bolts who'll go first. Neo was lying in wait for him. And
Neo has such amazing awareness as a ramp player, just knowing that that fringe was on that side of the smoke. It looked like he was in a bad spot right there, but I know as a ramp player, you're always aware of that fringe and a guy lurking to that corner. It's a very common thing that the lurkers like to do, especially in low 2v4s and like 3v4s, where people like to try to get that kill to kind of even up the round. Neo just showing his experience right now, clearing that angle.
And you can see the stats coming through. The scoreboard there is the VP KDRs are quite special at the moment. That being said, they're yet to face one of the big boys.
By the way, Silvers, even top level CS, you see P90s pushing the hut and killing your AWPer in lobby. Don't get mad.
Wow. Little personal message there.
No. I would be furious if I was that AWPer. And what Taz just did right there is to prevent someone from smoking heaven. So I think it was actually, he should have probably broken the other glass, but he probably already did.
And from here on in for Keith, this is a hard old slog.
Yeah, this is going to be a really rough half. This is not going to be a half by the end of 6 rounds. It's going to be like probably 3, 4, which is normal for Nuke. It's not a bad half by any means. They can come back.
See the optimism flowing back into you. Harley gets himself one. CQK gets the only frag for the Brazilians. And VP have 5 in a row.
It's just, again, alarms rounds, just the amount of players Virtus.pro is living with right now. 3 of them right now have almost 10K. One at 10K, another one at 10K, 8K, 9K. One's broke, Yali, but they can drop him guns for days.
Going to take quite the momentum pull from Key to get themselves back into this. There is little to no money in those banks.
4 kills over 5 rounds right now. Yeah, at very least, Key needs to start getting frags on the board so that way when they win rounds, they can string them together.
Bolt's completely unaware of where Bialy is.
And I almost want to say that Virtus.pro probably stole this setup from TSM. We actually stole this setup from TSM also outside. Just having that guy close, having a guy in catwalk spotting for him kind of thing. TSM has been known for doing this setup for quite a long time now, one of the strongest nuke teams. And I'm sure Virtus.pro scouted them because they were probably expecting to play them, even though they never happened to play them. So maybe Virtus.pro using a page out of TSM's book right there.
Collective ooh let out from the audience as Pasha is dropped by the AWP of CPK. Bialy though will lie in wait for Bolts.
Oh, amazing awareness right there by Bolts. I know from watching us use that angle a lot, even after upper dies, there's about a 90% chance that guy doesn't check that angle.
Here we go, opportunity for Keed. They reset and they'll have 5 men up against 3. They need to close this one out.
Here's Neo, he's already left ramp. That's your ramp player right there, out there in catwalk. Just such awesome rotations.
Taz pulls us back to level number. ZQKS can't get out of there. Snacks is waiting with the point blank range with Fur. 2 more frags though for the Brazilians. Leave us with just Neo, but he's more than enough. ZQKS has 3 points of health. At best now he's going to want to get that bomb down. And well, wait, he's got 1 shot to hit the big man. And he's right on top of him. He doesn't land it. He's still going with the AWP. He wants to no-scope him as he drops. Can't quite do it. And Taz, Neo, finishes him off.
I was holding my breath for about 10 seconds right there. That was insane. Wow. And yeah, that's exactly what I went into that map. This map talking about is not afraid to leave ramp to save a round like that. He will leave ramp knowing that there's such a high unlikelihood that a team that sends 3 guys outside are going to go all the way back to ramp, commit to the lower bomb site, and even if they did, he's going to have such a jump on that, probably get control, be able to drop vents, and then still be able to do a lot of damage. So good play right there by Nero.
But from a 5-on-3, Keed let that slip.
Yeah, but that's just, I honestly think that's more the map than Keed. I don't even blame Keed for losing that round. That's just Neo making a great play. And that's what happens on CT side of this map when you play top level CS. Just good rotations like that. Just hard to beat. You have to make gambles on nuke if you want to win almost.
6-0 VP.
Grenade out. Roger.
Fallen with a silhouette to try and strike at. Snacks is aware that there is an outside push coming and he will wait for Fallen. Neo is still in the ramp for now with a AWP for his troubles.
And Snacks is one of my favorite players to watch outside. He's like some sort of hybrid AWPer that can just sense out rushes like that by jiggle peeking on top of the red, the most aggressive spot you can possibly play. Backing off, going mini, able to drop secret, playing 2-vent right now. He can do it all really outside. My favorite is when he looks this.
Neo spots and strikes down TQK. And Neo just quicker on the draw to pick up that first frag, but Bolts will stop the rot. And Taz, expecting someone to be coming there, is going to spike Fur, and he'll get the first, and he'll get the second, and there is a third, and he will almost get that as well. But Snacks will help him finish that job. The AWP of Fallen moves in. He's 1-on-2. He's going to go up close and personal with Pasha, and Pasha will come out on top.
And a lot of people will question right there, like on the forums, people question that re-peek by Neo with that op, and people don't need to understand that that's not just like a re-peek just because he's hungry for frags. That's a re-peek because if he dies to a guy close like that, he can almost certainly call that there's 2 or 3 guys under ladder boosting. That's so much information at a late point in the round like that was, that the rotations for VP on a map like Nuke, where you can just fly around the map really quick, again, Keed was in an impossible spot to win almost. They would have had to like go ramp and ignore heaven at that point.
7 rounds in and just 11 frags on the board for Keed. This is a massacre as Virtus.pro go to work on them once more. Taz has 2 more, and it will be just Fur and Bolts left standing. Bolts has 1, but they're going to have to go a lot further. Well, it's a nice way to start, as Snacks is met on the end of Fur's weapon, but Bialy will drop Bolts, and it is all on Fur in that M4, and they know exactly where he is! And VP are 8-0 up.
Taz doing what he does best, holding down that front hut, just so strong in that position. I remember boot camping for the first major in Stockholm. DreamHack, what was that, like
2013, yeah.
2013. He was holding that front hut just like that, pushing in the hut like he did with the P90, just demolishing us. I remember that back then. He's still doing it today.
Laying down smoke. Grenade.
How do you counter him?
It's really hard on you, to be honest. You just have to trade kills really effectively. You gotta wait that smoke out. You can't go through that smoke, that's for sure.
Incendiary out.
And there he is, Mr. Counter-Strike, frag number 1. Fallen's gonna get it. Snacks follows up onto Bolts. This is looking like another tough ask for Keed. TQK has the frag on Taz, but Bialy will quickly remind Keed where they are. And Keed are going to call for a timeout. CQK, this is his opportunity. This hasn't been a game to remember for him at the moment. He is being chased down by Neo. Bialy comes at him. He is 1 on 4, but 2 have him well sandwiched. And as he pushes out, Bialy manages to escape, and Neo has given up the chase. They'll just let him live a little longer.
Yeah, it's almost like they're toying with him right now.
Frag onto Pasha. This is your moment at a major ZQK. Can you deliver the round of the tournament thus far?
Those are some nice Nikes, right, Snacks?
Neo makes sure that nothing happens, and it is 9-0 Virtus.pro. And Keed have got to get something on the board. We're going to a pause right now. If you were Peter behind those Keed players, what would you be saying?
Well, what they did that round was something similar to kind of what I wanted them to do, is that wall of smoke outside, do a mini split, but they really didn't let it develop. They just threw the wall of smoke and they instantly went into the inner split while the hut smoke was still there, while the guy hadn't even dropped vents yet because they haven't even really let the strat marinate yet. You know, like they have to let the rotations happen before they do a mini split like that. They have to let the guy drop secret. They have to let the ramp rotator leave ramp, and they have to let the hut smoke fade. But they didn't do any of those things, and they tried to rush into an inner split. They again ran into Taz pretty much through a smoke. The mini guy actually got a mini fairly successfully. He dropped off the mini roof, but it was just at what cost at that point, because all the info was given. Virtus.pro had so many red flags that told them what the strat was, and it was just too late.
So you'd heard it here first from Sean Garris. You've got to let a strat marinate.
Yes, got to let it simmer in that pot, you know, bring it to a light boil.
Now, Peter, the man behind Keed, is a man who knows something about comebacks on Nuke. CLG were 13-2 down against Hellraisers and managed to pull victory out of the bag. So there is hope.
Yeah, absolutely. This map is by no means over. So all Keed needs right now is just 2 to 3 rounds. Honestly, 2 rounds is doable. Both ourselves and CLG came back from first halves where we got 3 rounds T-side nuke. We both came back with 13-2 halves second half. It's definitely doable. By no means is it impossible. Nuke's a very heavily CD-sided map. This is still a game, and it's not over at all.
Here we go. If Keed to come back, it must start right now, though. They need something on the board before that halftime whistle rings. Does the whistle ring?
And Pasha switching up now, opping these secret stairs. Something that Kenny S really made popular almost about a year ago, I guess, when he would just instantly rush there. He'd actually take a fast route through ramp, blow up the door lower to actually cut his time by like a quarter of a second. It's pretty epic.
Look at these opening exchanges. Damage done to those key players.
They should know where that Molotov came from. Okay, they do.
Not that they can do anything about it as Pasha pops up to drop bolts. Second orb from Snacks will pick off. And this is a tough push for Steel with only 16 points of health. And he will go straight into the crosshairs of Snacks, who will pick him off. And Fallen, now the next man, and it is just frag after frag, heavy hit after heavy hit. And Keed cannot pick themselves up right now. So the chant that you might be hearing from the crowd has just been translated for us. The crowd are singing for 16-0.
My goodness, they might get it.
They want blood.
So, even though I didn't really see what happened at Inter that round, I can guarantee it happened because I've seen Virtus.pro demos. When they get this kind of momentum, they get this double op setup. They know the other team knows they're double opping. The only thing that can really beat them is an Inter rush, because once they take Inter, you have two ops, probably not retaking the site. I guarantee Taz and Bialy are just pre-Molotoving Inter, because that's the one thing that can beat them right now, and they're just shutting it down. So Keed is just, half of their players are like, we should rush Inter, and then the guy that's lurking lobby is probably like, they're just pre-mauling everyone, we're just going to get owned. We cannot do that.
Neo with an awesome headshot onto Fur as he retreats from the ramp. It's Snacks who's going to be next in line, and he had just a millimeter to hit, and boy did he pick it off. And now
Roger that.
we will reset for the next. Assault's coming lower this time, and Bialy ready to jump out and strike. Neo gets himself the first onto Fallen.
It's almost like Virtus.pro is in their TeamSpeak right now, understand Portuguese, and are reacting to every shot they call. Just one step ahead right now at every turn, it looks like.
Neo hits the frag on the bolts and follows up with a second. There you go, it is 11-0, and the dream of 16-0 for this home crowd is still very much alive. Keith just haven't showed up.
No.
And that is
what I do think. Oh, so they're trying to double op setup. This seems to be the solution when things don't work. I noticed this on like Overpass, Mirage. This seems to be something that Keed really likes doing. Bring out the double op, really bring CS back to its basics, looking for picks, drop all of their like tactics and just look for picks at this point. However, I think I would like to see them heavily push towards the heaven. Really get in the upper bases. If they know the heaven smoke, combine that with the wall of smoke. By heaven smoke, I mean like the catwalk smoke for outside. So that way they're not susceptible to being picked from heaven. Really being able to single off places. And that information that the Opera got outside just now is huge. They threw the wall of smoke, the Opera crept through the fringe, I believe with Snacks. Pretty much told them no guys outside. Really has eyes on outside right now. They already know they're going to hit Inter. DP's going to have 4 guys there. This is going to be an extremely hard round.
It's almost like you've seen this before, Sean.
Yes.
No, sir. I'm throwing a flashbang.
I'm almost begging you to go ramp right now, Keed. Please.
Here comes Taz, bolts with the headshot. Neo picks up Fallen elsewhere on that ramp, which is where you asked them to go. And they have obliged, but Snacks with the headshot back on the bolts, and this tall order remains tall. With just 20 seconds left to execute it as well. Pasha picks off the frag onto Steel and will follow up with ZQK downed. Only Fur, and he will go no further than Pasha. It is now 12-0 VP. This could be a tough.
Yeah, it's shaping up to look like that, and Steel actually did a really good job of working all the way through ramp, getting under heaven. Unfortunately for him, doing that on nuke is almost like a worthless gain. I mean, at that point you still have to make a trip up a ladder, fight a guy that's literally holding the easiest angle in the whole map. So all that work for almost nothing, and it's really hurting right now for Keith.
Here we go, they're coming to your man in the ramp room, it's Neo. And this nade will have hurt his chances, but he has Pasha to back him up. And Neo falls a long way back. Bolts has himself the frag onto Taz, and this might just be Keed's opportunity.
Good job lurking in the lobby right there, keeping the Ollie at bay right there, throwing the smoke front hut, not letting him get that info, kind of forcing them to think that there's a chance they could go upper. See Virtus.pro rotate the second guy into upper, throw that smoke.
Deploying flashbang.
Do it, Bolts.
Roger that. Roger.
Pasha picks up, and we're back to a 4-on-4. Fallen returns the favor, and the man advantage is restored for Keed. This is their opportunities. They try to take this upper side, but Bolts will go and get that first frag. Second frag is his before he's dropped in the end by Neo. And now Steel comes in, and Keed have themselves their first round. And if you believe in the East Bunny boys and girls, then maybe you believe in this comeback for Keed. And now they're cheering the fans for, I guess, 16-1.
Yes, but they obviously changed that 0 to a 1. This is amazing.
I'm learning numbers in Polish at this point, so.
Smoke. Throwing flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing a grenade.
And now they just want a one-on-one, so the money is really low. This is going to be a tough round for Keed, but they almost need it.
Smoke. Flashbang. Deploying flashbang.
Fallen versus Neo.
Flashbang.
In the ramp room, reinforcements coming, but that flash pushes Steel back, and Neo has done a good job of repelling as he retreats down full health as well, with many bullets fired at him. He gets out of there and is calling for backup in the ramp room.
And that's just Neo's excellent movement right there. He was in such a bad situation. He escaped with 100 HP. Those guys didn't hit him one time just now, and all of that exchanged. That's incredible, actually.
Snacks with a frag to the foot. And it follows up with number 2 onto Fur. And Bolts is down, and Neo. Oh, second gift. Request to Reddit. We need Snacks gifts on his fist bumps.
I love Snacks, by the way. He's one of the nicest humans.
Nicest humans. There are 7 billion of them. But I wouldn't disagree that VPs in general are pretty lovable.
They are.
Incendiary out. Throwing a grenade. Grenade out. Throwing a flashbang.
There is not much in the armory for Keed now in this last round of the half, having 1-1 and lost the subsequent with that money to come against them. It's Taz who'll look for the next. It's Fallen coming around. Taz is waiting. Bjarli and Pasha have frags as well, and Fur will walk out and confirm the inevitable that the first half of map 3 was a whitewash. 14-1, and that was a disaster for Keed.
Yep, it was. And Snacks literally picking up right where he left off at this same exact major last year, just being a force to be reckoned with.
And both Snacks and Pasha, well, the new guys, if you will, some years later, maintaining their dominance. But it's great to see the different playstyles that have merged together on that VP side. Neo evolving as a player, and you can see that in the stats as he continues to come back to full form. There you go, the full run of VP face masks.
Those masks are just the creepiest things I've ever seen. It reminds me of the TV show The Following. I don't know why. It's really creepy.
I haven't seen it, unfortunately.
It's pretty bad. Don't watch it.